When are you ready?
Yeah, right now. What's up? What's up? What's up? No fancy graphics this time. Our laptop with all of our live stream stuff got a little bit of coffee on it from someone. But whatever,
It was a nice gesture.
Yeah, it was very nice.
It was meant as a nice gesture.
So, what's up, guys? First of all, we want to congratulate with all of you on our channel attaining 50,000 subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing. We've got some really cool stuff to share with you today and to share with you in the channel. As most of you know, we've got like our real-time lives and our channel lives. So in the first part of this live stream, we'd like to talk about what's going on with the series and where we're at, and some cool behind-the-scenes stories about cruising around Ecuador and what we really liked about it. And then we'll transition into real time, where we are now, what we're doing now, and where we've been. And it's really exciting and really cool. We've been to places that no other people have gone on YouTube channels, that is. So we've got some cool stuff to bring you. I wish I had a really cool intro here that I could like cue up.
Well, we got our normal intro. Can we put that up?
No, I didn't even put that on.
I think that counts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, put this on here.
Oh yeah, the logo. Here you go.
Bam. Intro.
Oh, that was actually the thing that was showing the whole time.
Oh no.
Oh, we suck at this, man.
You want to try again?
No, we can't. We can't. It's already going. It's just done. Hey, look at that. That worked. Okay, let me make sure. So first of all, guys, if you are watching this, we are outside, so it's going to be a little loud, but it was either that or we get the background of like a white wall, which was really bad, and it's a little cooler out here. So yeah, see, it's working now. Okay, so you guys let us know if you guys can't hear us or anything, or you can't hear any of the videos. We're not pros at doing live streams. Oh, Stu, he's on here. Yeah. So first of all, big shout out to Christopher Slade. If you're watching this, little buddy, we would love to meet you, man.
He's a soon-to-be little sailor, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
So Christopher, thanks for watching, bro.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what we want to talk about. Let's talk about Ecuador.
I've had. Oh yeah, you congratulated already.
Yeah.
So in our series right now, you a couple of videos back, you said that we crossed the equator, and that was a pretty big event for us. Normally, like sailors get tattoos. What do you call them? Shellback.
Yeah.
People that cross the equator, and there's like these huge ceremonies, and I'm sure you guys would have loved one, but we were kind of lame in that regard, and I'm really sorry.
We missed a golden opportunity to do something fun, but honestly, it was like a 600-mile passage. We were averaging like 7.5, 8 knots.
Eat while you're talking.
And we just wanted to get there. We were out of propane. Oh, that's why. We were out of propane, and we didn't have any food, and we were running out of water, and we were like, we need to go. We don't have time to stop and play around in the water.
No, water was the only thing we actually had.
Okay.
Beans and rice. But I think I told you all that in an episode. And yeah, Ecuador, when we arrived, there was a lot of work to be done on the boat. And that's what we did like the couple first weeks. So I'm sorry if the episodes are kind of lame right now, because there was just so much work to be done. What do? We got rid of the fridge. We drilled a bunch of holes into the deck. I mean, you know, the nails worked themselves out.
I've got video of that, actually. I want to show that.
Okay.
Drilling deck video.
Exactly.
So, let me know if you guys can't hear me still, but if you look on the deck of our boat right now, you'll see all those little X's. And all those little X's are nails, where the original guy that built the boat made it out of plywood with just a skin of fiberglass over it. So all those are those little headless nails. And what I'm doing here is using a Dremel tool to drill out the nail, and then I fill it with epoxy. And sometimes if it's big enough, I have to put some fiberglass on it. There's several hundred of these, and even now, it's not finished. So this is one of those jobs where we started it and we expected it to be done in like a week, And it's been
I mean, it's still going
10
on.
months.
There's still like little bumps everywhere that would have to be drilled out and filled and then sanded and
we don't want to paint until the damn bumps are done. So
yeah. So the boat is looking kind of messy right now, but that's
deck needs
okay.
paint.
Otherwise, we had to replace the sail cover. We beat that thing to shit because in strong winds and the seams were not strong enough when we made them, and then we had to replace the forestay also. That was a huge deal, especially because there was no real dock to tie onto. So what you see here right now. Oh wait, can you turn that sound off?
yeah, I can turn that off.
So what you see here right now is just a little dock in Puerto Amistad in Ecuador, where we're right now in the series. And that thing was, we were not exactly sure if it could hold the weight of Zingaro or, just resist the force of Zingaro actually hanging onto there. It was, we were scared it was just going to rip off the pilings because that thing is pretty, a little sketchy.
It was sketchy.
The marina. And
so we're actually tied to the mounts for the building. There's really long lines going underneath the building there. And then I'm using the halyard right now, and our buddy Ryan is pulling the forestay up.
Exactly. And
then we ended up having to cut it. Let's see if we can do that real quick. We ended up having to cut the top off and then put a new forestay on. And now our whole boat, except for this stay, is all Dyneema. So we've gone over 10,000 miles with our Dyneema now, and we're super love the Dyneema, but you can't put it on the forestay because it's in that roller furler. The way, if you don't know how a roller furler works, it's basically like an aluminum tube over that stainless steel stay, and you can't see where it's chafing. You wouldn't be able to see. Some people have done it. I'm not really sure how, but I feel safer just having a steel stay there. And then the rest of the whole boat now is all Dyneema. And I love it. I'll be doing more vids on the Dyneema update videos, like 10,000 miles with Dyneema shrouds, what I've learned, how to do it correctly, for anybody that's interested. My take on that right now is, after this long with it, I don't recommend that everybody gets that. It's not something that is easy. It's a little more difficult. It takes a little more time to tune. They stretch out, so you have to be constantly looking at your rig, which is a good thing if you're cruising because you should be tuning your rig a lot.
I was just gonna say that.
But if you're not cruising, having Dyneema lines are probably not the best idea, just because
unless
it's a
you're
lot more work.
racing, of course. But if you like every 2 weeks take your sailboat out to Catalina Island from LA or like short trips, then I don't think it's worth the trouble because you do have to tune it from time to time. But as a cruiser, I mean, we talked about that a lot already. It gives you the freedom to re-rig your boat whenever you need to, wherever you are.
What I would say though is it's one of those life skills that is very rewarding when you can work with material like Dyneema. So if you want to do it as a learning experience, I'm totally behind you. And I get a lot of emails from people that want to learn, so if you have any questions or anything, go ahead and send them my way. And if they're too technical for me, I'll send you over to Luke with Kraken. And thanks for the Dyneema, Luke. If you guys are interested, if you look up Sea Monster Strong, he's got a Facebook page that he makes custom stays, and he does really sick work now. I mean, just beautiful. Sleeved. He uses Dyneema, and then he does the measurements and the calculations for the Dyneema sleeve, and then he whips the Dyneema sleeve ends, so it's got no chafing problems and no UV problems because it's all this Dyneema sleeve that you can take off later on and replace. So the stuff that he's making now is tits. It's pretty pro.
Ecuador was not only work though, so we did a little inland trip also, and we sailed the coast. Pull up that video. Our favorite spot in Ecuador was Puerto Lopez, and there was just this huge fish market directly on the water. So what would happen is the fishermen and women would go out and catch mahi-mahi, wahoo, whatever,
Spearfish.
and then bring it back to this beach and just land their pangas on the beach, load it into the market where it would be filleted and cleaned, and people could just buy it there directly. It doesn't get any fresher than that if you don't hunt yourself. So that was really cool, and we ate obviously the fish soup every day, and we ate fish soup there too in Puerto Lopez. And other than that, we also left the coast and went into the mountains, inland Ecuador. There's so much to explore in Ecuador. The coast is not really the place to be in Ecuador, I would say. It was beautiful, but they have the mountains and they have the Amazon, and that's just beautiful.
We went to a volcano crater called Kilauea. So I'm gonna play you guys a little video, and then I'll read some of your comments, and we can respond to some of the comments while we're playing it.
We made it. This is Kilauea. It's a dormant volcano with a lake inside it. We're gonna hike all the way around it and hike down to the bottom, but we can't figure out which to do first. Babe, what do you say?
I think we're gonna do both.
We're gonna do both.
I think we're gonna do both today.
Yeah, we are. Let's go down first. I want to go kayaking. That way if we poop out halfway through, it can't be that bad. He said 2 hours for all the way around. All the way around the crater.
Okay, so you get the idea. It's really, really cool. So we ended up hiking down to that crater, and it doesn't look like it's that far, but you're hiking down about I think it was like 400 meters, so 1,200 feet vertical, and it's almost vertical. And then we rented some kayaks and went through. It was really, really cool. We'll be sharing that with you on the next upcoming videos. I tried to climb Chimborazo, which is actually, because the Earth is an oblate spheroid, it's the highest point on Earth, and it's like a kilometer or two higher than Everest, but if you measure it from sea level, Everest is higher. And was very, very challenging. I'm not going to give away what happens, but what we're going to do is, she didn't want to do it, which was smart, and she went to the Amazon and got to like throw spears and make yucca liquor, and we're going to do like a split screen and show my turmoil with trying to climb this mountain that's freezing, and her, getting to make cacao and throw spears at papayas and stuff. So that'll be really fun. What else do you have written down for Ecuador? Oh, refit. So we had to refit the boat in Ecuador for our Pacific crossing. When we originally arrived at Ecuador, we were planning on going to Peru, but we're so glad that we didn't, because we met two people that went there, and one of them, it cost them $4,000 to get out of there. It was like a bribe thing. And the other one, they tried to impound their boat, and it was like constant money that they wanted, and it was $1,500 to check in. And it was just really insane. So we decided not to do that, and we'll tell you about the cruising plans later, but most of you guys know we wanted to go to Easter Island. So in order to make this huge passing, we had to upgrade our solar panels, we had to replace the forestay, we had to make the deck sound. We did the whole rig, thanks to Kraken, and that's actually on YouTube now. We changed the backstays, and I haven't done a video about the backstays yet, because it took me a long time to get to the point where I liked them. They still aren't perfect, but they're way better than what I had, and I am going to do a video and show people like exactly what I'm doing. And basically for you guys, it's a 16-to-1 purchase, so I don't have to have dedicated winches for the backstays, and I can make them loose so I can pop them over the sail as the sail goes through. It only works when the sail's double reefed, but my sail now doesn't even have a first reef. It just has a double reef or triple reef, and that's the way we sail with it almost all the time. Anything over 15 knots of wind and we're double reefed, just because it balances the sailboat well, and it's such a big sail that it's a lot when I mean, we got caught in some big winds, and we would never want to have that big sail up.
We don't, I mean, how many times do we really have the whole main up without any reefs in it? It's like 10% of the time we're sailing.
Not even. It's only for when we're trying to beat upwind
In light winds.
In light winds, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't ever happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
Questions?
Daniel said that we have a great internet connection, and
Oh,
that's
that's
probably
good.
the first time ever. So,
Yeah.
sorry about the live streams before, and I hope the sound is okay because we're pretty close to the road. Other than that, Tim was asking about our favorite fish to eat and catch.
Oh.
And for me, that would definitely be wahoo.
Oh,
We
yeah.
caught our first wahoo a couple weeks back, and
Weeks. Months.
and it's just so easy to fillet. It's fun to catch, easy to fillet, and it's really tasty. You can make sushi with it, you can fry it, and it's all really good. What about you?
I like spearing, so I'm gonna say amberjack or triggerfish. Triggerfish are cool because if you can get through their skin, you can just fry them in the skin, and or if you batter them and fry them, oh man, it's good. Thank you very much, Stephen Slade, for the donation. We really, really appreciate that, brother. Very, very cool of you. Let's see.
Also, 867 is asking about our way of doing weather forecasts, whether we're using Predict Wind or Iridium Go.
Oh,
And
this is a good announcement. We just got an Iridium Go a week ago. So she just got back from Berlin, and she stopped by our buddy Cleveland. You remember Cleveland from Panama episodes? He came down and visited us. He had the same boat as us. I did a little walk through his boat. Anyway, she had a 18-hour layover, so she stayed with Cleveland, and he got us a bunch of stuff. One thing was the Iridium. So before we were doing the Delorum, and the weather on the Delorum sucked. I mean, it's good for like hiking, but for actual forecasting weather, it's crap. And I don't recommend anybody go out with that. The thing is about that is the Delorum costs $400, the Iridium costs $700. The Delorum costs $50 a month, the Iridium costs $100. So it's like roughly half the price. But now that we have an Iridium, we're going to be able to get wind maps, and you can see weather coming. We got hit with, we got caught in the worst storm of our lives about 2 months ago. Yeah, we were in the Tuamotus, and the winds were gusting to 47 knots, which is stupid fast if anybody is not a sailor. It's just stupid, ridiculous wind, scary. And we ended up losing our primary anchor. Our buddy boat lost their rudder, and they had a nightmare. They ended up getting their dinghy ripped off the back of their boat, and it was just horrid. When those YouTube videos come out, we got video of everything. We were doing 16 knots running away from the storm.
max speed 22, by the way.
Yeah, and around that time we hit our max speed of our lives, which is 22.2 knots. Cool, yeah. Okay, what else? What other questions?
Another question is, Cliff is asking, how do you pass time aboard? Board games, card games? And the answer is, at the beginning, I think we played a couple card games, but we always had other people aboard, and with 2 people, I love Settlers of Catan. It's like my favorite game ever, and you have to have a minimum of 3 people, and we just underway, we're mostly alone, so we don't ever do that.
You know what?
What do we do?
To be completely honest, to be completely honest, on our Easter Island crossing, there was one day where we were going super slow, and we just sat outside and watched flying fish all day and just talked. There was another day where we just sat up on the boat and watched a movie. If it's a little bit rough, we'll sit inside, and you know, there's always something to do on a boat. So you're not ever sitting there like just laying around all day long. You can trim the sails, you can check the weather.
Stitch up some lines, you know, like splice them back together.
Yeah, you can do boat work still. You can do editing work. Wow, look at this. We're getting, Jonathan Lawhorn sent us $25. Thank you, Jonathan. Really appreciate that.
You're in our WhatsApp group, I think.
Love your videos and realistic look at sailing. Thank you for being just good people, man. Yeah, that's cool of you, dude. You're the man.
Kraken is asking, Luke is asking whether we lost the dinghy anchor. No, we keep that thing close, and actually we're using it as a backup anchor, like for as a stern anchor, to hold us into the wind ride or something like that.
Yeah,
sometimes.
man, we
this
used
thing is
that.
way big for our dinghy.
So the backstory on this, for everybody, is we went and visited Luke from Kraken in San Diego, and he gave us his anchor, his old Fortress anchor, for his little Catalina 22, and we use it for our big boat. If it's not as like a primary holding anchor, but if we're swinging too weird or something, we'll put it out, and we use it for the dinghy all the time, dude. Yeah, we still have that.
So then there's Todd Kessler that just gave us $50 as a down payment for
Thanks,
a dinghy.
bro. Appreciate that,
The thing is, we have a dinghy now. I mean, one that doesn't sink, actually a really badass dinghy. And it's gonna take some time for our series to catch up with that. But if you wanna see what kind of dinghy we got, you should either head over to Facebook or our website or Instagram. Or Patreon. And it's badass. It's an OC tender. And how we got it, you'll have to wait. I don't think this is the right time to tell the story, but
the people at OC Tender are awesome. They gave us a tender because they felt bad, and they did a circumnavigation on a similar boat as ours, and
just broke as fuck.
They didn't want anything for it. They just said, "Here, man, have it. See if you like it. I know the marketing will come. This is my gesture towards you." Just rad people, and a badass dinghy.
And the thing is, it's used, and it's 5 years old already, and there's just, we polished it up a little, and that's it. It's 5 years old already, and somebody had been using it with a big family with 3 kids, and it's just in a great condition, and we couldn't be more thankful. Thank you anyways, Todd. We will spend that on beer. We're going to have a party tomorrow. So.
Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
And Tetakafa, send us $20. Thank you very much, my friend.
Very nice of you. So, any more questions? I wrote down, I don't know, we said that already. Okay.
You look through here and see if anybody's asked questions, and I'll go on.
You can talk about, did we say everything what we did in Ecuador already?
Yeah, I think we got kind of what we did in Ecuador. We ended up getting a really cool present. She got a spear, a hand-carved 9-foot spear made out of ironwood. So we've been carrying that around on the boat. I don't know what we're going to do with it because it's too big to fly with. So maybe we can give it to somebody or just carry it forever. I don't know. It's cool, though. Is this a good time to switch gears and start talking about what our cruising plans are?
Well, I would say we're going to talk about where we're going to take our 50,000
strong crew. That's awesome. Thank you, guys.
Next in the series. So we gave you a little sneak peek already on what's going to come next in this series in Ecuador. And after that, we're going to take you to Easter Island, Rapa Nui. The island in the middle of the Pacific, in the middle, right between, right off the coast of Chile. Like how many miles?
1,800 miles off the coast directly, and it's about 2,200 as the bird flies from where we're at in Ecuador. And in all, we sailed about 2,500 miles because our autopilot broke 500 miles out. And it was just, it was difficult, but it was one of those problems where we were able to solve it with bungee cords and sail trim. And I've never heard of anybody sailing 2,000 miles with a catamaran with just bungee cords. We didn't do any hand steering until the last 100 miles where we had to go upwind. But it's really a cool story. And we had a patron come down and bring us a new, what do they call those things? Linear drive for a better autopilot. And he said he had to fly through Mexico with this thing, and every single place he went, every time they scanned it, they'd always take it out of the bag, and they thought it was like a weapon or something like that. He almost missed his flight. It was really funny. But anyway, we ended up fixing it.
What I wanted to say though is we're gonna take you to Easter Island, to Rapa Nui, where they have these giant statues. I mean, they're called moais, and I'm sure you've heard of it. And that's really a badass place. For sailors especially, because it's so far, and it felt really good arriving there, and the smell of the soil,
smell of the dirt,
it's just
so cool.
It's just amazing.
18 days at sea.
So you should be looking forward to those episodes.
Yeah,
it's gonna be lots of fun. After that, we're gonna go to Pitcairn Islands, where the famous mutineers of the Bounty wrecked the Bounty and lived for generations on, and we were taken in by a local, the owner of the only bar of the island, and he showed us around, and he's 7th generation or so Pitcairners,
Yeah.
and we had a blast. So
And there's 4 islands in Pitcairn, actually. There's Ducie, the most southern atoll in the world, which we went to. We went to all 4. We got really lucky with weather. I don't even know anybody that got to visit all 4 islands. And then Pitcairn, and then Henderson Island, which is a raised atoll. There's like 4 or 5 of them in the Pacific. And then Oeno, which is a regular atoll. All equally different, cool, and the water quality down there is some of the best in the world. The spearfishing was amazing. She got a freaking crazy sized kingfish. I mean, this thing was like this big as her. If you go into our Instagram, a picture of that is on Instagram with her holding this fish over her shoulder.
Oh, dude,
and
so cool.
The background story from this is we had to take that picture like 50 times because she couldn't hold the fish up. She'd be like, "Oh, Jamie," and it'd fall over. Really funny. That fish ended up feeding like 4 families on Pitcairn. Normally we don't spear fish that big, but since we were there, it was really fun.
And so I'm reading a lot of the comments right now with questions about the boat and where we are from and all that. And those basic facts about us are all on our website, svzingaro.com. You can read about the boat and how James got it and how we met and what we did before sailing.
Yeah.
So I invite you all to go visit the website. It's being updated more or less, and it's being updated by my mom. So
Yeah. Thank
she
you,
always
Ute.
posts all the
you.
episodes
She's
on there,
awesome.
and she like copies a bunch of the Instagram posts over that I'm posting on Instagram.
We wouldn't even have
And,
a website if it wasn't for your mom.
Yeah, thanks, Mom. I'm sure you're gonna watch this live stream tomorrow when you wake up in Germany, and thank you very much for that.
So let's see. You keep writing down questions.
Christopher just sent us his pocket money. I feel a little
thank you,
bad,
Christopher.
but thank you so much.
You're the man. Really appreciate that.
We're gonna spend it on something fun.
That was. Oh, that's so cute. Thanks, Christopher.
Thank you so much.
Let's see. Tim Jackson says, James, just wondering, I remember your first video when you were docked at the guy's house who's fixing up your boat. My question is, did you stay in contact with that guy? Yes. Actually, I call him Padre because he's like my second father. And whenever I have a problem, he's super knowledgeable. And whenever I have an issue that I don't know about or that I'm kind of on the fence about, I call him to get his honest opinion about it, because he doesn't hold punches. He'll just be like, "You're an idiot, James, don't do that," or try this, or he'll give me some, he just lost a boat in the Abacos with Dorian. It was a cool like trimaran houseboat thing, motorboat.
I'm sorry, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah,
Oh.
it got flipped over, but I think he only paid like 10 grand for it, and he took it really well, and he said he got his money out of it and stuff, but that was really bad. If you guys can help anybody from Dorian in the Abacos, they really need it.
So Todd from Michigan says hi.
Hi, what's up, Todd?
And also, nice guy just said that he doesn't have any social media, and again, just visit the website and you can subscribe with your email and you get almost all the updates that we're posting publicly. If you want anything else, like behind the scenes footage and stuff like that, as always, we refer to Patreon, where James is making actually all the behind the scenes videos. I mean, so far, that's all.
I've gotten up to Oeno, the end of the end
So
of the
there's
Pitcairn Islands.
real-time updates, and then a little of, there's like behind the scenes footage of our highlights of the last months, and so that's all on there.
Yeah.
Well, less cut.
And then after the Pitcairn Island group, which we got super lucky, we went to the Gambier Islands, which are a little bit north. They're the most, not the most southern, but the most eastern island group in French Polynesia, and it's one big, huge coral atoll with a bunch of islands in it, and they call it the Gambier. That was okay. We had pretty bad weather there. We got blessed with weather in Pitcairn and then got hit with bad weather there, and then even worse weather in the Tuamotus when we left, and that's where we lost our anchor and we got in real big trouble. The one thing I will say is the boat has been handling all this fabulously.
Like a champ.
I mean, we have put that thing through some major seas, like 30-foot seas, 50 knots of wind, and 22 knots boat speed. and it hasn't like broken in half, and the mast hasn't fallen off, or I shouldn't say that. I'm gonna knock on wood.
Yeah, you should.
And yeah, actually, I'm gonna go back here. Sailor man, I'm a little bit. What is that word for that? When you're
superstitious.
That's it. Yeah.
Also,
She speaks English better than me.
Daniel asks what kind of editing software we are using, and we're using Premiere Pro. Never edited with anything else. Can't compare it to anything, but works for us. And if I would ever really, improve my skills and actually learn how to do some crazy shit, that would be the program to use. I think I could use something way more basic right now because I'm not that deep into the editing. We're mostly filming and just cutting it together. But
no, that's not true. You're good at editing, baby.
Yeah,
you're a good editor.
Yeah. But relearning another software, I don't think it's worth the trouble right now.
I started with the Mac software, Final Cut, and it had a wall that I hit. So then we got Premiere.
Yeah, there's only like so many.
Yeah, but it was a little easier
transitions
to use. It was kind of more plug and play and click on this, and they were all already set up. The thing about Premiere is there's so many other programs. You can have After Effects that go make it so you can animate things, and you can just go way off in the deep end on that one, and that's what all the pros use.
So, did
Rick,
you do that yet?
Rick sent us $20. Thanks, buddy. He said, "You guys rock. Keep up the good work. Easter Island is my dream destination. I'm sailing vicariously through you." Thanks, man.
Those are the kind of messages that we want to get. Thank you, Rick. That means a lot.
We're glad. It matters then. I think we missed one.
Oops.
All right. DJ Pickle 68 sent us $20. Thanks, DJ Pickle. That's a crazy ass name. Electric fridge, solar upgrade, lithium battery in each hole, major solar upgrade, torpedo for the dinghy. Also buy a Fugo Bluetooth speaker while available. From my family of 5 to your family of 2. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah,
really nice.
That's actually kind of where we're headed. Let's talk about that real quick. We are in talks with a solar manufacturing company to get new solar panels for the boat, like 870 watts. And then we're going to get lithium batteries, and then we're going to get a convection oven. That way we can get rid of the propane, because we've always had problems with propane. I'm getting really good at gravity filling the propane now, but it's a little dangerous, and we don't want propane on the boat. We've heard enough bad stories about it. So, and then obviously we would maybe change one of the engines for electric, and electric motor for the dinghy would be nice. It'd be real nice to be completely autonomous.
Being able to just rely on, solar.
I will say, I don't want to get into this debate right now, because this is a totally different thing, but with electric engines, I don't think it's a good idea, just from talking to people, a lot of people that have had electric engines and not liked them or changed them back to diesel. I think it's a good idea on a catamaran to have one electric engine and one diesel, but usually with the technology today, if you have electric engines and you're cruising, you almost always run a generator to get the power to run your engines. It's not like you're electric and you're clean. You're just trading the diesel engine for a generator, and it's a little more efficient, but it's a lot of money just to have the same kind of impact. We're really big on our environmental impact, and that's one of the things that I'd love to happen. But the technology is changing quickly. I'm really interested to see what Sailing Uma does, if they go anywhere, and if they run into any problems after they get to the Pacific. In the Caribbean, I don't think they would be a big deal not having more than a couple hours of run time on your engines, but there's been a few times where we would have been pretty screwed without the engines.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm going to say about it. It's in the works, but it's way off.
Jack is saying Crowther is a master, and from what I've seen and heard and how Zingaro is sailing, it really seems like he was way ahead of his time. That's the designer of the boat, and he also designed the first katana.
Yeah, he designed actually all the first line of katanas from like 1980. I don't know, the first 5 years of katanas. They're good boats, and they're just basically Crowther spindrifts, but bigger, and with a flared bows above the waterline, so they can put big beds in them and stuff. Cool boats. apparently they're a little heavier and they're better sailors than the katanas now. I don't have a katana, so I don't know that for sure.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah, I mean, we met a lot of people. They're badass.
Okay, so any last words?
Let's just answer a couple of the questions. They said any plans on a hydro generator. We would love a hydro generator. There's only like 3 or 4 companies that make them. They're super expensive. Watt and Sea gave one to a sailing channel, so I don't know if they're looking to give more out maybe for...
We're going to look for a sponsorship because otherwise it's just out of our budget, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I do think it would be worth to diversify our energy intake, because so far we only have solar, and if it's cloudy for a couple of days, then we're in trouble. And especially if we want to change to electric, like an oven or a stove, that takes so much power, and engines as well. We need to do something. And wind generators always make so much noise, and they're like rattling. And
oh God, I hate wind generators. I hate.
We try not to park next to boats that have wind generators. But we're almost the only cruisers that don't have a wind generator on board. Most other people have another source. 1 or 2 wind generators. But a hydro generator would work really well with this boat because we average 7 or 8 knots, and hydro generators work almost logarithmically. So after 5 knots, they get a lot more power. So you can make a lot of power if you're going quickly. And our boat's pretty quick as long as it's not too overweighted. Another person just asked us about our fridge. In the next episode you'll see we remove our fridge, or maybe we just publish that episode. No, it's the next episode. No, we just published that for Patreon. So patrons, please go on to Patreon. A new episode is up for you guys.
No, I didn't publish that yet. I need to put it out. It'll be right after this. I'm gonna put it up on Patreon.
Okay, so for all of you that want more footage, go on to Patreon. We also just launched our t-shirt campaign.
Oh yeah, you can buy t-shirts now. Yeah.
This is the new design.
Oh, really actually, cool. I have that too. Here, let me see. Go ahead and keep talking on.
And that's it. That's it from us. And thanks for tuning in.
Wait. I'm not done talking yet. So this is the new back design for the t-shirts, and this is designed by Naomi Ghettos and our own Kimmy. So Kimmy gave her the idea of what she wanted, and she drew this up for us. So we put it on a shirt, and it's super cool. I'm so happy, and I'm proud of you that you had that happen. That was totally her. She did the whole thing, and Naomi does really cool artwork. You can look her up. She's an Australian artist that she paints freediving fins. She's also a freediver, super eco-friendly, into the environment, and just a really cool person. So as far as the fridge that we were talking about before, we still don't have a fridge. It's been about 9 months, and we have learned how to live without a fridge, and it's not that bad. We will do a video about that coming up soon, but it's not going to really work right now with the context of where the series is at in Ecuador. We just removed the fridge, and now we're like experts on living without a fridge. It just, we try to keep it chronological order because people get really confused. So also we've gone through Pitcairn, we've gone through Gambier, we've gone through the Tuamotus, and now we are in Tahiti. So we're actually in Moorea right now, which is the island right next to Tahiti. Really pretty place if you guys can ever come here. And the water's pretty. The any fish bigger than the size of your hand have ciguatera, and it's just a really beautiful place. Almost every picture we take with water in it is like, wow. It's just the color of the water here is intense. Oh, John, thank you very much. John Poole just sent us $50. I wish you both the best. Be safe and happy. Thank you very much, man.
Cool.
Really, really cool of you. We really appreciate that. Is there any other... nice guy's wearing his Zingaro t-shirt right now, dude. Thanks very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you to all of you that support us inside or outside of Patreon. We're not always able to answer all the messages, but we try and keep up because we're just without internet for long pieces at a time. But we do see all of the messages, and we thank you a lot. Without you, this obviously wouldn't be possible in this way. And So I want to thank all of you at this point. And every time you watch a Zingaro video, you're helping us out.
Yeah.
And every time you like our videos or our live streams,
Yeah.
that helps with the algorithm, which helps us on the long run. So.
Yeah. And a lot of our fan base and a lot of the people that support us are people that want to kind of be there with us and live vicariously and have this journey with us. And it's so cool to get messages from people that are like, hey man, you know, I'm in this point in my life where I just can't do it right now, but I love what you're doing and I love that you share it with us. And it's a lot of work to share it, and you guys know that, and you guys give back to us with your views and your ad clicks and your donations and buying us a beer and these donations through our chats. We really, really, really appreciate it. It's very cool. It's very neat to be able to have a community and share it, and yeah, it's neat.
Okay, guys, thanks. And we're running out of out of battery, so
running out of battery. Okay,
gotta go, people.
Okay,
it was nice talking to you.
Peace
if you
out.
have any more questions, always, you can always just put them in the comments. And if
sign
not,
up to Patreon.
Yeah.
We're going through some changes right now, so we got new tracking. We've got a new Patreon Iridium email
and a WhatsApp group.
We've got a WhatsApp group that we started. I'm on there every day, sharing pictures of our adventures. It's actually really fun, and the people are really cool. So you can join that through Patreon too, and get live updates and the behind the scene things and cool stuff. We love you guys. Thank you for 50,000 subscribers. This is huge. Let's see where we can go from here. We're thinking about going to Japan. We're leaving for Hawaii in like less than a month. We're gonna sail from Tahiti to Hawaii, and then Hawaii to Japan, and then Japan to China, and then maybe even the moon. It's gonna be so cool.
Stop it.
So
you talk faster because the battery is running lower, so you gotta.
Yeah, we're at 15%. It's red.
It's
It's red. We need to go.
Okay.
Peace out.